Hello everybody, welcome to this very special episode about Noel Hodgson, an incredible man that we were fortunate to meet out on the tour yesterday, on Saturday. So we were driving alongside Loch Clooney on our way to Eilean Castle, and I remember just before we reached there, I pulled out because there was I thought like just a regular hiker walking up the road pulling a trolley. Didn't really think much of it, so I went round him, went up to the lay-by, and then while we were there, he caught us up, and I just went and said hello, and we started chatting.
This is Noel. He's been hiking Scotland for 4 years, but tell us the story. Briefly.
Briefly, well, I started in Lincoln. It'll be 5 years April, and I headed north and just been walking ever since. Briefly.
Well, as you can see, this is Noel's life, is it?
Yes, yeah, everything I own.
And you were saying you lost your home, and that's what started this.
I lost my job, and then a couple of years after that I lost my home, so I went for a walk to calm down, and I've been walking ever since.
What is so far your favourite part of Scotland?
Oh, right here, right now, because I live for the moment.
Oh, that's
honestly,
good answer, good
honestly,
answer.
I get asked that all the time. But
Used to document his story on Facebook at the very start, but he said it became so much of a chore. He said about people coming up to him and trying to interview him before, like people on Sky and newspapers and that, and he's never given an interview. So I felt very honoured that he let me interview him on camera for a couple of minutes. I mean, most of the questions I did ask him were off the camera before I started filming. So I said, what's the biggest thing you've learned since you've been out here? And he said just to find contentment. You know, as I say, he has no 4G, 5G. Occasionally he might couch surf for a night here and there, or he might get onto Wi-Fi if he's lucky enough to get a meal. But yeah, it was a very simple life. He has no stress, he has no bills, no council tax. You know, here we all are. You know, we do our jobs, striving for perfection, or always trying to earn more money so we can do this or we can do that. But you've got a guy out there who leads a very, very simple life, where he sleeps in the wild, with the wildlife, during the weather, come what may, and he wakes up wherever he is in this amazing place, and that'll be his view, and then he'll start his day and off he'll go again.
yeah, I mean, look where we're at, you know?
I know, it's incredible.
Yeah, I camped about 2 miles down the loch, woke up to this morning, and the sun is shining, so it's a good day.
I want to do hiking tours up to Store. Have you walked up to Store yet?
I have, yes, yeah. I've done.
You camped up there?
I camped at the bottom.
Not that brave then.
I've done the other side of here is the Kintail,
Yep.
Glen African Kintail, so I've walked that out to, is it Norfolk?
Has anything ever scared you?
No.
Nothing? You've not had
No.
any encounters with wildlife or anything?
Oh, loads of encounters with wildlife. Rutting season, it can be
Yeah.
a bit hairy, but nothing, I walk without the fear, you know.
I mean, there's lots of things, you know, that I didn't ask on the camera that I wish I had done, but you know, obviously I was I was being a tour guide as well to my guests, so we were kind of limited with the time. But yeah, I wanted to ask him in hindsight things like, you know, if you ever become ill and what would happen if you became ill, and doctors and things like that. But I guess there would always be someone to help him. People in Scotland are very kind and will help you if you need some help. So, but yeah, it really blew my mind a little bit actually. He's really is living proof that you can be happy and not have anything. So yeah, we drove off and we left him to it, and yeah, felt very fortunate to have that opportunity to speak to him. I asked him actually if he'd seen any wild boar, lynx, Scottish wildcat, wolf or bears, because they're things that the Scottish government are considering putting back into the environment.
Have you ever seen a Scottish wildcat, a lynx, bear, wild boars?
I haven't seen any of them, but I believe wild boar is in Invermorriston.
Yes.
And I've seen trails of them because they kind of through the ground, don't they?
I mean, I asked him as well what he did for food, and he said that he lives off the land. He lives off of roadkill, he fishes, so he is like Scottish Highlands Bear Grylls.
Tonight, where are you heading?
I'm heading down the glen. I'll just walk till I find somewhere really beautiful to camp, or I'm tired.
So you just wake up kind of like no plans, no stress, no pressure.
Just wait for the magic of the day, eh?
Live for the moment, live for the magic. So
Yeah.
when do you see this adventure ending?
As long as I'm fit and healthy.
So there's no ending?
No.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm
As
really
long as I
looking
can
at.
physically do it.
We're going to be looking out for you in the future now.
All right, okay.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.
Great, lovely to meet you.
And you.
One of my favourite names, Noel and Liam. So it's great to meet you, and thanks for the interview.
No worries.
He packed his possessions up and he started to walk, and he's not stopped. So Noel, if you're watching this, it was a pleasure to meet you, mate, and I hope to see you again out there. Stay safe and just keep living the dream.